Day 2 World Series of Poker limit event. Will I cash? Will I make the final table? Will I win the bracelet? Stay tuned to find out. So in my mind, they have everything to lose and I have nothing to lose. And that makes me scary. Very scary. We're looking for Richard's car. We don't know where he parked it. He's looking, I'm looking. Probably the craziest 4-8 game I've ever played in. The pots were enormous. Well, good morning from Las Vegas. It is Tuesday, June 10th, and today we have a day 2 at the World Series of Poker. I'm very excited about that. This is my third day 2 that I've made in the few tournaments that I've played in my poker career. I have 1 cash, 3 day 2s, and today hopefully we're going to get our second cash, get to the final table, Mark can fly out, and we will win the bracelet. I have faith. I'm very short stacked. I only have 52,000. And so I looked at the table draw. Let's see. There were 491 entrants, 99 are left, and 74 get paid. So 25 more busts, and I'm in the money. And yeah, I need some hands early, and I need a rush. It's going to be an interesting one. The chip leader in the whole tournament is a pro who has many bracelets. His name is John Monette. He's going to be a few seats to my right, but I'm not scared. These guys, so let me give you the breakdown on playing in the World Series of Poker. These guys aren't like guys with special powers or can perform magic. They're normal people. You know, I sat next to Benny Glazer, this pro who's just on fire right now. He's just a normal dude. He wears a hoodie. He eats sandwiches just like I do. He was getting a massage. He had a tweak in his neck. I have a tweak in my back. They're just normal people, and I'm very observant when I'm playing poker. I'm always thinking about how are these people viewing me? Now, I know I'm a very conservative player overall. I'm not in there gambling because I don't play in these tournaments a lot, so I'm not just going to be a fool and raise a bunch of hands. Like, I value my chips. They're very important, especially in a limit tournament. So I'm aware of what these guys are thinking about me. They're probably like, oh, I can just run this guy over. But being aware of that, then I have to call down with second pair sometimes because I know they're trying to bully me out. And so I'm always analyzing where I'm at, who I'm playing against. And again, these guys, they're good. They don't make mistakes, but they're not it's not that I can't beat them. I just have to get some good cards, which yesterday I really ran pretty bad the whole day. I didn't run up against any big hands and lose big pots. I just didn't get many hands dealt. And anytime it folded to me, I'd have literally 7-3, Jack 2 with Benny Glazer in the blind, and he's defending every time I'd raise. So I was kind of handcuffed for most of the day. I was super proud that I went all the way from 12K up to 99K, and then the last 2 hours I literally folded all hands but one. I had a 7-8 suited and raised in position, and they folded. So I'm down to 52,000, which I think is about 4 or 5 big bets. So I think it's time for my rush. Time to get some cards, time to hit some flop, make some hands. So I'm going to pop over to Planet Hollywood again, get some breakfast, get a sandwich to go, put it in my fridge. Today the levels are 1 hour, and I do get a 60-minute dinner break if I make it that far, where I could come up to the room and chill. We're playing at the Horseshoe today, which is really close because that's where I'm staying. About a 3-minute walk from my room. So I will check in as we get closer to the tournament, and I'm excited. I got to get that second cash, and I want to fly Mark out. Maybe some other friends, and definitely my local friends will come by to sweat me at the final table tomorrow. So I'll check in a bit. All right. This was a familiar walk from the Horseshoe through the Paris to Cafe Hollywood and Planet Hollywood. I kind of have done this every day. And yeah, got my coffee, been drinking a bunch of water, and today's gonna be a good day. I can feel it. I've been doing a lot of contemplating this morning about my experience in just playing poker in general and in these big tournaments. So I think this is the 7th preliminary World Series of Poker event I've played in my career. And I've made day 2 3 times out of the 7. So what's my strategy for today? It's not to min cash. I don't play in these things very often. So it's all about building a stack, not playing scared, trying to get chips so I can get to the final table, because all the money's in the top 5 and specifically the top 3 in these things. So just got to go with my hands, play smart, get reads on my opponents, play the way I need to play, and the cards will fall where they may. Another thing about the experience in these things, having played in some of these, like last year, I had a decent stack, went all the way down to literally nothing, and came back and built a pretty good stack. All that experience matters in times like these when you're short, so you don't get frustrated, because I just have faith. I know that when you get low, especially in a limit tournament when the blinds are so big, it just takes a couple hands. You know, ace, king, flop an ace, get a pair, flop a set, and I'm right back in this thing. So I'm just getting to Cafe Hollywood. Gonna get some breakfast, order some lunch to go, and then I'm just gonna chill in the room till it's go time. All right, baby, headed down to the Horseshoe Event Center. Tournament's gonna start shortly. Day 2, World Series of Poker limit event. Will I cash? Will I make the final table? Will I win the bracelet? Stay tuned to find out. In the whole list of players, there's only 2 names I recognize, because I'm a big fan of poker, so I know who all the pros are, and they're both at my table. But here's the thing. These guys are pros. They do this every day for a living. John Manette's won a bunch of bracelets, and I'm just a recreational coffee roaster poker player. So in my mind, they have everything to lose and I have nothing to lose. And that makes me scary, very scary. I'm in the silver section. Look at this backdrop for playing today. Feature table in the back. We're gonna be back in that little area. 22 minutes to go. Come on, baby. Time to run it up. Okay, we have 75 left. We are 1 away from the money. I have a very short stack, but I'm not the shortest stack in the room. We're playing hand for hand, so every table deals a hand. If nobody busts, they deal one more hand. So
one off the money. One more person busts, I'm guaranteed to at least double my buy-in because the minimum payout's just over 3,000. So let's go, baby. Honestly, I'm happy with just getting in the money and then I can put my chips in. It'd be kind of scary to get ace king because I have to raise. Can't fold it. All right, check in a bit. Guess what, folks? We are in the money at the World Series of Poker, my second World Series of Poker tournament cash. The last 2 hours have been kind of nuts. We got hand-to-hand, 2 short stacks were super low. One guy tripled up, and then another guy was all in the blind, and he busted. Got us in the money. Very next hand, I had ace-jack and doubled up against ace-9. I was all the way down to 32,000. And I've built my way up with my tight image, raising, they're folding. I'm at 121,000 at the break. Apparently I can't take video in there. So anyway, I'm at 121,000 and there's 58 left. I'm gonna have to wolf down a little bit of food. I got no time and here we go. Let's build some towers. The towers are going in the right direction. Check in with more chips. What a wild ride that was. I busted out in 46th place. Bought in for 1,500, cashed out for 3,193. My second biggest cash out of my career, only behind the shootout. What a run that was. Unbelievable. I had, let's see, I was down to 32,000 on the bubble. Built it up. I got all the way up to 176,000. I went all in. I didn't go all in, but I won 3 hands in a row. I just kept building and building. And then I got in a monster pot with John Manette. I had king, queen of clubs. I raised. The blinds were 5 and 10,000 and the limits were 10, 20. I raised to 20. He re-raised out of the blinds to 30. I called. Flop came king, 10, baby card. Let's see. He checked, I bet. Turn came out, a queen giving me 2 pair, putting 3 diamonds out there. He checked, I bet 20,000. He called. River's an ace, he leads out for 20,000. And I made a crying call. He had pocket jacks, river to straight. That put me right down to like 20,000. It was a monster pot. I got all the way down to 16,000. So I got all in. I don't remember what the hand was. I had 16,000. I doubled up. And then maybe the next hand or the following one, I had 8, 9 of clubs in the big blind. Yeah, big blind. Guy raised and I called half my stack hoping to hit. I flopped an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw. I let out, he called. Turn, we got it in when I hit my flush, doubled up. Got all the way back up to 84,000 from 16,000. Then just a few hands later, I had pocket kings. I raised a guy that I could tell is a pro. He raised, I re-raised. He 4-bet, I 5-bet pre-flop, leaving me with 21,000 left, so basically one bet left. Flop came queen high. He bet, I raised, we got all in. He had ace king high, no pair, with the king of hearts, and there were 2 hearts on the flop. Turn came a heart, river came a heart. Runner flush, 4-card flush, and he busted me, or I would have been at about 180K from 16,000. What a crazy run that was. It was so much fun. These guys were playing scared. I was playing tight, and when I was betting, they were folding, and I was totally taking advantage of it. I didn't really feel any pressure. It was just, I was playing in the moment, playing hand by hand. Once I made the money, I could really unleash the limit beast that I am. And it proved when you saw my towers building that I can play with anyone, and I'm not afraid of them. So, second biggest cash of my career. Such a fun day. It's about 4:30, something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, but I'm pumped up on adrenaline. I just got paid out, so now I'm up about $1,700 for the trip. Probably just going to take it low key, play some limit tonight, book my win for the trip, so all my expenses are paid and I have a profit. What a fun little 4-day adventure this was. So I'll check in at my next stop. I might be playing South Point tonight, some 4-8 limit where they have the bonuses. Let's see if I can draw an envelope, play late into the night. All right, check in soon. After a brief break in my room, I'm heading back down because Dean Eggs, Daniel Negreanu, is at the final table of the 10K deuce to 7, no limit. And Nick Schulman's there. Look at this list of players. What a final table to sweat. After a little reflection, there's nothing I would have done differently. I accomplished everything I came here to accomplish short of the final table and winning the bracelet. I made day 2, I cashed, I played great, I mixed it up with pros and took big pots off of them. I couldn't be prouder of the way I played today and yesterday. So I'm just gonna have a chill night tonight, enjoy my wonderful performance in the World Series, and I'm gonna go check out this final table, and then I might end up at South Point, play some low limit 4-8 hold'em, try to win a bonus hand, and just have a chill evening. It's quite an adventure. And where am I? Oh crap, I went to the wrong place. I forgot that final table is at the Horseshoe where I just was. Brain's a little scattered, too much poker, but also not enough poker. That was pretty sweet watching a Murderer's Row final table. The $10,000 deuce to 7 no limit low ball. Nick Schulman is chip leader, and he has a crazy intimidating presence. Mark played against him many years ago. I think he took a big pot off of Mark, and Mark doesn't like him, but I like Schulman because of his commentary. But he has a heap of chips, and he looks so intimidating every pot. He gives away nothing. I would not want to play against him. Daniel's doing okay. The play is pretty slow, so I'm going to go head over to South Point, play some cards, try to pull an envelope, get that big bonus, and then play as long as I can stay up. Maybe I'll come back and watch the end of the final table, but it's going to be a while. All right, check in from South Point. The sounds of slot machines and the smell of cigarette smoke. That means I must be at South Point. I just got to South Point for my last night. I'm on the 4-8 hold'em list, the same game that had the 6-12 kill and the bonus envelopes. So we're going to try to pull an envelope, win a huge amount, maybe get the king queen of diamonds and make the royal flush for 2,500. Hey, the night is young. It's only Tuesday night. So I'll check in after a little limit session. Let's build some towers, baby. That's what we do.
pretty nice start to my 4-8 session. I had Jack 10 of clubs, and the guy raised to 8, playing 4-8 limit. I made it 12. I think I was on the button. And then the guy in the small blind, he's like, what the heck? He raised to 16. The guy who originally raised capped it at 20. And I think it was 6 ways to the flop. Flop came Jack of spades with 2 clubs. So I flopped top pair with the flush draw, monster draw. I figure my Jack's probably not good here, but I have great equity in the pot. It goes bet, call, call, and then I raise, and then another guy raises, and another guy raises, and I think 5 of us put in 4 bets on the flop. Turn was the queen of clubs giving me the flush, and they checked to me. I bet 4 calls. River, I knew I needed if the board paired, I was screwed. I knew at least there was one set out there with all that action. River was a 7 of diamonds, so I had the flush, no full house possible. They checked to me. I bet. Everyone called. One guy was already all in. 2 guys had sets. The guy who was all in had queens, so he turned a set of queens. I won the monster pot, and it put me up about 120 bucks. So I'm sitting at just over up 100. I ran into Richard. He's here. I just cracked Richard's aces with a Sean hand. I had 7-9 of spades, and the flop came 9-9-3. Sorry, buddy. I feel bad for you, but I don't feel bad for stacking your chips. Back to the action. All right, well, the table broke, and I cashed out. I bought in for 200. Cashed out 358, so I netted 158. A lot of that came from my buddy Richard. So we're leaving. There's only one table left in the list. We had to get put on a list because our table broke. So now we're headed to the Orleans for a little late night adventure. And they might have a 4-8 game going. So who knows what's going to happen next. We're looking for Richard's car. We don't know where he parked it. He's looking, I'm looking. Yeah, maybe it is over there. Who knows? Well, we may make it to the Orleans. Just trying to find it. Late night adventures with Richard in Vegas. I don't know what time it is, but we just got to the Orleans. Let's see if we can get some poker action going. I've officially played my last hand of poker on this trip. I am leaving the Orleans, gonna go get an Uber to my hotel. I am so tired, but I just had a blast playing some 4-8 in probably the craziest 4-8 game I've ever played in. The pots were enormous. Enormous. It was insane. Let's see what happened. I went up, and then I was down like 40 bucks, and then they had a splash pot. So somebody in the room hit quad, so they randomly pick a table and put $100 in the pot, and whoever wins the next hand in that pot wins the 100 bucks. So I had King Jack. I raised it up, bet it down, hit a Jack on the turn, ended up winning the pot plus 100, so that got me back to even, plus the 100 from the splash got me up 100 after I was down before that. And then from there, lost back 35, up and down, ended up booking a win for 65 bucks. And so I bought in for 200, cashed out 265. So I don't even remember what I won at South Point. It was over 100. That seemed like 2 days ago. What a long day, but what a fun ride. And going home in the pause, and yeah, good times. Sean's poker adventures came through this trip. We'll see about next time. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Good night.